where fitna reigns. If you look in the verse, وَقَاتِلُهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةً, look in Sahih al-Bukhari, in Kitab al-Fitan, and look at the hadith that is related from Abu Abdurrahman, from Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, when they asked him about that ayah, and he said, do you know what it means? هل تدري معناها ثكرتك أمك? Do you know what that means? And he said that meant for us, the fitna was being forced to leave our religion and enter into the religion of the mushrikeen, to be forced back into shirk. That was the fitna, to be forced back into idolatry. And he said, we were fighting in order for religious freedom to exist. And it's not كَقِتَالِكُمْ أَنْتُمْ عَلَى الْمُلْكِ. It's not you're fighting today over power and acquisition of power. And so I think Muslims need to be very wary of all these people that are talking about why they're fighting. I mean, I really do. I think they really need to think about it. As for the situation in places where Muslims are clearly being besieged, they have a right to defend themselves. If their houses are being attacked, if they're everybody. I mean, that's a constitutional right in the United States government. I mean, to defend yourself. That's Geneva Convention. I mean, that's agreed upon by every system of law known to man. But the idea of taking vigilante justice into your own hands in a nuclear age, the idea of killing innocent people, that's another religion. That's called al-ghaya tubarrir al-wasila. The end justifies the means. We can do whatever we want. So, let's blow up some English people because they're supporting the war. I mean, how do you know? Did you talk to those people? What right do you have to take their life? What right do you have to take them out of the world? God's given you no right to do that. What right do you have to take non-combatants who are not aggressing on you as individuals? What right do you have to take them out of the world? You have no right at all whatsoever. God has not sanctioned it in any way, shape, or form in the Islamic tradition. And it's as simple as that. And ask yourselves why there's only about 500 mutawatir hadiths. That's it. Out of all the thousands of hadiths that exist, there's only about 500 that are actually considered at the same level of the Quran. And you ask yourselves why نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن قتل النساء والولدان. Why that hadith is mutawatir. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم prohibited the killing women and children. I mean, why? Because mutawatir hadiths are hadiths that the Prophet repeated so many times that many, many people heard them, spread out in large numbers. And those Sahaba who heard them repeated them. And the next generation, so that each generation had so many people repeating them, it's impossible for it to have been a lie. That's a mutawatir hadith, multiply transmitted. That's right there. So you tell me, if you see that little girl looking at you, right, and you take her out of this world, was that sanctioned by the Messenger of God? I'm sorry, that's not my religion. It's not the religion I joined 27 years ago. I'll never believe it's my religion, and I don't care what the ulama say. I'm sorry. Because istafti qalbak walaw aftawka an-nas. You have to, in the end, you have to listen to this. And I'll never believe it as long as I live. I'll never believe it. I will not believe that that is my religion. And I'm sad that my religion has turned into a tribal religion. It's very unfortunate, although, on a positive note, I would say it's a testimony to the power of Islam that it's taken the Muslims this long to reach the level that they've reached. I mean, over 100 years of degradation, humiliation, denigration. I would say it's a testimony to the power of Islam, because it took Nazi Germany 15 years to become Nazis after the degradation of the Versailles Treaty, where they weren't even allowed to sit at the table after they were promised a victory without peace. But I mean, for me, the last great Muslim, I call him the last true Muslim, is Amir Abdul Qadir al-Jazairi. And that's the mujahid that I want to be under his banner. And when he shows up, I'm going to sign up. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullah khair, Imam Hamza Yusuf. Thank you very much for a thought-provoking presentation.